look at how you can increase your sales 81% without spending a single penny more. All right, and if you're new here and you don't know who I am, my name's Mark. I am the owner of Predictable Commerce, and we help e-commerce brands like yours double their revenue. What I promise from my training, it'll be no fluff, it won't go on forever, and it'll give you something insightful that you can take action on. All right, let's get going. You might be looking and thinking, how's this possible, right? Well, we're going to make some assumptions, and we're going to look at improving some statistics in the e-commerce store that you run and you manage. So the first assumption we're going to make is that the store receives 1,000 visitors. So we need to use some round numbers here to make this work. So 1,000 people visit our e-commerce store. First thing we're going to look at is a conversion rate, because that's metric number one that you should be focusing on. So let's make an assumption that your conversion rate is 1.5%. So, that won't be bad. It won't be a disaster. It'd be a good starting point. And let's assume that your average order value is $100. So keep some nice round numbers that we can use throughout. Average order value, $100. And we're going to first look at a conversion rate of 1.5%. So what's that going to bring you? Well, if your average order value is $100, your conversion rate is 1.5%. You're going to convert 15 people, and they're going to spend a total of $1,500 with you. So good base point. However, if you was to move that up to 2% conversion rate, you would change things significantly. You would now get 20 people buying from you, spending a total of $2,000, which is an additional $500 in revenue. Quite a significant amount. So that's the first thing we look at, and that's straight away moving from 1.5% to 2% actually gives you 25% higher revenue from what you would have had previously, which is quite a staggering number. So let's break down, as we go through, some more statistics. Let's think about returning customers. So I am obsessed with this. If you've got an e-commerce brand, you want to bring people in on the front end. They get new customers, get them to buy from you. Vitally important. But here's the thing. The money is made on the returning customers. So you've got to focus on that as well. You've got to keep this conversation, this conversion conversation going with people. Otherwise, you're just going to bring them in on the front end. They're going to buy once, and then they're not going to buy from you again. So this is what we're going to cover now. Let's assume, first of all, so this is metric number 2, okay? Let's assume that 15% of people return to buy from us again. And every business is going to have a different return cycle. So one business, you might see people come back after 3 or 4 months. Another business, it could be sooner. Another business, it might be a year. It all depends on the product, depends on the price point, depends on how it's positioned. But let's just take the percentages for now and work on that. So if 15% return, that gives us 2.25 additional sales in the future. 2.25 sales. So if the average order value is 100 still, that means we get $225 of revenue from the returning customer. So 15%, not bad, not great. I wouldn't be happy with it personally. Now let's say we take that to a very, very modest 25% of returning customers. And that's a good statistic, right? If you were getting 25% returning buyers, you would have a good base level to progress from and to move forward from. So what happens there? So we've increased that by 10%. But what it means now is that we're going to actually be getting, because previously we're bringing in, assuming that our conversion rate is 2%, we're bringing in 20 customers, right? So here's the key thing. When we do that, we get 5 sales. So at a 15% return and going off the lower conversion rate, we're only looking at 2.25 sales. If we bump this up, we bump that up, we get 5 more sales. And then that gives us $500 of revenue. Okay? I hope you're sticking with me here. I know this is getting like some sort of math lesson, but it's important that you know your numbers. So we've looked at overall how we can impact the conversion rate and how the conversion rate impacts the returning customer rate and how the two tie together. Now, we've gone off an average order value of $100 here, right? So what we're going to introduce now is a higher average order value, right? Let's say we increase that by 25% and we get it up to 125. So we've managed to refine our buying process, get the conversion, average order value up. Maybe we're adding on repeat purchases when it comes to people buying and checking out. We're using some sort of great Shopify app like Recart, which does that automatically. So $125 is now our average order value. And this is where the math is getting a little bit more tricky. In fact, let's just do it again here. So if we increase the average order value up to 125, the whole picture changes, and this 500 becomes 625. And even down here, if we increase the average order value, so average order value up to 125, even down there, it has an impact. So we get roughly $281. What have we looked at so far? We've looked at conversion rate. In fact, let's do that in a different color. We've looked at conversion rate. We've looked at average order value, and if we increase that, and we've looked at the returning customer rate and increasing that. So we've increased 3 metrics by a relatively small margin. And here's the thing. If we were to take, and this is what's going to blow your mind, right? If we take the original statistics, so we'll do that one in black pen. So we've got an average order value of $100, a conversion rate of 1.5%, and a 15% returning customer rate. Our overall revenue that we get from 1,000 people visiting our store is, you can still see that, good, $1,725. So we've done the hard work to get 1,000 targeted people to our website, to our e-commerce store. We've got 1,000 visitors. We've generated $1,725 in revenue. Okay. If, however, we increase the average order value to 125, we increase the conversion rate to 2%, and we get 25% of people back, those same 1,000 visitors are now worth, in total sales, $3,125, which is 81% increase. Significant, I hope you think, because this is the granular level at which you need to be looking at your statistics. And in my mastermind program, we get people to track these statistics so they can see what's going on. Because you can see quite easily that the small effort that goes in to moving these up has a significant impact. So if you extrapolate that number and increase the number of visitors that are coming to your store, this is a relatively low number anyway, guys, isn't it? Let's say you're scaling your brand, right? These metrics make a huge difference when you compound them together. And that is also why you do not want to be focusing on just one specific method. So something like Facebook ads, yes, they are an unbelievably good tool still in this day and age with all the struggle. They are still an unbelievably good tool at acquiring customers for you. There's absolutely no doubt about it. We continually get people getting good results with them. But if you just focus on that and you lose sight of everything else, you lose sight of the average order value, the conversion rate, and the returning customer rate, you can see that you are potentially leaving huge sums of money on the table. If we were to 10x that number there and 10x this number here, the difference between this number and this number is 1,400. So if you're in a higher volume store and you're driving 10, 20, whatever many more times traffic than that, you can easily see how your 1,400 becomes a $14,000 revenue difference. And it's quite feasible that there are e-commerce stores out there that are either just starting out and can easily generate this extra revenue, or have been going for a while, they've got things to a point where it's working very well, but by making these changes, they can push their revenue up. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you stayed along with me. I hope it made sense. We're here to give you all the knowledge that you need to implement and to become a successful e-commerce brand. Today just shows a little bit about how the figures themselves, the statistics, can really drive huge differences in your business. So I hope that was helpful. If anybody wants to jump on a quick 15-minute clarity call, I won't be trying to sell you anything at all, and it'll just be a chance for us to chat and see if we are able to help you and give you a bit more clarity over the path that you're on and where you need to go. So have a great week. Please remember to drop in the comments below if you've got any questions about this. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.